Hello geometry students. Today's learning target is to discuss and calculate the scale factor of similar figures. In our last video we talked about similar figures. The corresponding angles are congruent and the sides are proportional. So if you look at problem number 1, the goal is to find the scale factor from left to right. So from left to right. So if you look at this diagram or this quadrilateral, you can notice that it is getting smaller. If the figure is getting smaller, we call it a reduction. In contrast, if you look at problem number 2, you can see the trapezoid is getting larger. If the object or the image is getting larger, we call it an enlargement. And then I'm going to jump down to number 3. So if a figure is an enlargement, the scale factor is always greater than 1. So if the object or the image is getting larger, we want a scale factor greater than 1. In contrast, if the figure is a reduction, then the scale factor is between 0 and 1. Some people just say simply less than 1, but technically it needs to be greater than 0. So if we jump back up to problem number 1, since the image is getting smaller, we have a 5 and a 10. To figure out the scale factor, we're going to write it as a fraction, and we always want the small number to be in the numerator if the object is getting smaller. So the scale factor is 5 over 10, which reduces to 1 over 2 if you use your calculator. You could have used the 7 and the 14 if you wanted to. So you could have said 7 over 14. Again, the small number is in the numerator. That reduces to 1/2. So we're using the corresponding sides. If you look at example number 2, the 3 and the 12 go together. The 4.5 goes with the 18. Those are called corresponding sides. Since the picture is getting larger, we want the larger number in the numerator. So since it's an enlargement, we want the larger number in the numerator. So we're going to say 12 over 3, and 12 over 3 is 4, so we say the scale factor is 4. You could have used 18 over 4.5, and if you divide 18 divided by 4.5 on your calculator, you also will get 4. So in summary, the scale factor for problem number 1 is 1/2 because it is a reduction. The scale factor for number 2 is 4 because it is an enlargement. Let's look at the next couple problems. So again, we want to find the scale factor from left to right. And if you want to pause the screen and try these problems on your own, please do so. In problem number 4, this is a reduction. So I'm going to look for the corresponding sides. The 88 goes with the 55. I'm going to put the small number in the numerator since it's a reduction, so 55 over 88. And if you use your Desmos calculator, 55 divided by 88, you can press this fraction button over to the side. It becomes 5/8. So this reduces to 5/8. And you could have other calculators using the fraction button. In problem number 5, we can see that this is an enlargement. So when we write the fraction, we want to put the large number in the numerator. So we're going to put a large number in the numerator. And we need to find the corresponding sides. So the 36 goes with the 45. I don't know what the 28 goes with. So the 28 here in green goes with this green side. It's missing. The 48 goes with the missing side there. And then the yellow side here with the 35. Again, I don't know the number. So I'm going to say 45 over 36. I'm going to grab my calculator. 45 divided by 36. It's 1.25. Notice that is larger than 1, but I'm going to make it a fraction, 5/4. So the scale factor is 5/4. At this point, the rest of this backside was class practice. I would suggest you pause the screen and try these problems on your own. In problem number 6, if you want to pause the screen, please do so. This is an enlargement. So I'm going to put the large number in the numerator, and I'm going to find the corresponding side. So the 6 and 12 go together. So 12 over 6, which is equal to 2. Problem 7, this is a reduction. The picture is getting smaller. So I'm going to put the small number in the numerator. The 6 and the 30 go together. The 25 and the 5 go together. It doesn't matter which one you use. You can say 5 over 25, which is 1/5. If you prefer, you could say 6 over 30, which again is 1/5. For the next two problems, notice it says from the top figure to the bottom figure. So find the scale factor from the top to the bottom. And here, if you notice, I rotated the pictures. So I've turned the pictures. So from top to bottom, number 8, this is a reduction. And again, I did turn the pictures. So this 54 looks like it goes with the 12. This 54 in pink goes with that 12. So the pink numbers go together and the green numbers go together. Again, it's a reduction, so I'm going to put the small number in the numerator. So 12 over 54. I'm going to grab my calculator. 12 divided by 54. Notice it's smaller than 1 because it's a reduction, but I'm going to make that a fraction, 2/9. So the scale factor here is 2/9. Last problem for this video. From top to bottom, notice the picture is getting larger, so this is an enlargement. So I want the larger number on the top, or the numerator. And it looks like this 12 down here goes with that side. I simply reflected the picture left and right. The 37.6 goes with the 84.6. And the 28 goes with the 63. So since you want the larger number in the numerator, you could do 63 over 28. If you prefer, you could do 48.6 over 37.6. Either way, you'll get the scale factor. So let's take a look at the calculator. 63 divided by 28. 2.25, it's an enlargement. That's 9/4. So this is equal to 9/4. Just to check it, I'm going to use those other two values, 84.6 and 37.6. So 84.6 divided by 37.6. Notice I get the same scale factor. So the learning target today was to determine the scale factor between two figures. You find the corresponding sides and you divide the two lengths. If it's a reduction, you want the small number in the numerator. If it is an enlargement, you want the larger number in the numerator.